The fan service continues to explode off the screen in another crazy episode of Killing Bites, which introduces a hilarious and over-the-top bunny girl and a pair of twins who are half human and half horned lizard, who have the ability to shoot blood from their freaking eyeballs. Japan, you never cease to surprise me. The raunchiest anime of the season continues in another really fun episode of Killing Bites. An episode which, again, goes crazy with the fan service. The first 6 minutes of this episode right here is dedicated to seeing Hitomi and Eruza in maid outfits, bending over, showing off the panties, getting right up in your grill. If you're willing to get past that and take it for what it is, you're going to have a lot of fun with this episode, which introduces a ton of new characters. Not only do we get to see new therianthropes, but we also get to learn a little bit more about the Zaibatsu families and what their ultimate goals are going to be. We also get to see that apparently they're going to need a third member for their team, and this is the perfect opportunity to introduce the third heroine of the series, Inaba, who is half human and half rabbit. Now, the fact that she is half rabbit makes you think, what is she going to be able to do in battle? How can a rabbit even possibly defend itself? All they ever do is run away and dig holes. Well, that's the thing. She doesn't know how to fight. She can only run away and dig holes. That's kind of her only shtick. However, just like the main male lead of the series, Yuya, her actual abilities are going to be sort of a supplement to the main character. She's going to be sort of backup, so to speak. While she can't fight, she does have the abilities of a rabbit, being able to use their ears and being able to hear things like supersonic waves and being able to perceive where the enemies are attacking from. Basically, she's going to be very important to the strategy of Hitomi battling in the whole big Killing Bites destroy all. It's insane, it's over the top, and I absolutely love it. But before we actually get there, let's talk about some of the other big developments of this episode right here. Like I said, we're introduced to some more of the higher-ups of this whole Zaibatsu thing. We have this one girl who is the granddaughter of the leader of the Mitsukado people, and they bring Leo in, and they're all at Yuya's apartment, which completely freaks him out. But they know they're not going to attack anyone. They're still trying to follow the rules, and they're trying to talk Yuya out of actually getting out of this and not working along with Hitomi, as it eventually could possibly lead to her death, and maybe they just don't want to give him that stress, but there's also much bigger reasons behind all of this, and it's all some sort of big power play as well. I do love the fact, though, that Yuya is sticking very close to Hitomi and not doing anything without her consent. Whether he's doing that because he feels it's the right thing to do or he's afraid that she's going to kill him, it remains to be seen, but of course that leads to a lot of the comedy between those two characters right there. But right after that, they realize they are going to need another fighter to actually join the team, and that's when the big dude Ichinousuke realizes that, I do know this one girl. She's not associated with any of the families, and she's not really all that powerful or anything, but she can transform just like any other therianthrope, and that's when we were introduced to Miss Inaba, who is the bunny girl of the series. It was inevitable that we were going to get a bunny girl in a series which is about half humans, half animal creatures, and showing off a lot of fan service. Japan's obsession with bunny girls, in particular the use of like the Playboy bunny outfit, has been seen in so many anime series. It's hard. In Dragon Ball, Haruhi Suzumiya, Gainax has made a ton of stuff with bunny girls in it. It's just a thing in Japan. And here, it's taken to this hilarious new level with this character of Inaba, who, just like her actual rabbit, is kind of a meek, timid type character. She doesn't really want to fight or do anything, but she still wants to regain her honor and get respect from her peers for being a part of this big whole therianthrope thing. So she eventually decides that she's going to have to join the group forcefully when she gets into this battle with this crazy group of twins who are horned lizards. And they're half human, half horned lizard. And like the actual horned lizards, they can shoot blood from their eyeballs. And that's pretty freaking awesome. I didn't know what that was at first when I was watching it, because when she was running away after having that meeting with Hitomi, who scared the crap out of her and trying to get her to join the team, she was attacked by these girls who started like blasting this tree and destroying it with these blasts from their eyes. And it was really freaking cool looking. She immediately transforms into a rabbit and starts to run away. And then just like kind of the previous episodes, they're kind of just following a formula here in terms of introducing like the main characters, where they show off the new side character, they meet a bad guy, Hitomi comes in to save the day. That's exactly what happens here. She shows up in her freaking Ratel form, the honey badger, and she fights against these two chicks, taking all of the blood shots and getting hit constantly, until of course Inaba uses her ears to hear them out, giving her the opportunity to take them out. And she does it in a super stylish way by stomping on this wrench, which flips up in the air. She grabs it and throws it, and then just does her big signature slash attack. It's really freaking awesome. It's just dumb in the best way possible. That's really the only way that I can actually put it. It's just popcorn entertainment. But honestly, if you do take it for what it is, you're going to have a really good time watching Killing Bites. So, what's the rundown on this week's episode of Killing Bites? We finally have our third main character, and I have a feeling it's only going to get more fan servicey from here. The fan service in this series is like such an assault too, because you get it not only like in the intro, but especially in the outro, which I never watched in full until this episode right here. I'm always more of a big fan of like the openings of anime series. For some odd reason, I've never really been too much of watching the endings unless it's a song that just really pops and really gets stuck in my head. But here, it's just, man, all the girls in Gothic Lolita costumes and wearing black leather and stuff, and just, it's all ridiculous and over the top. They're not really trying to hide anything about the fan service of this series. That was made painfully clear by the intro of this week's episode, which, like I said, was just 6 minutes of watching these stupid, freaking dateless wonders try to take pictures of these two girls in maid outfits. And they went along with it, and creepily enough, Hitomi got really into it, like, because apparently that's a part of the Honey Badger's personality. They have an extreme curiosity streak, and she ended up getting into it a lot. And man, there are a lot of suggestive poses. Of course, Erza is totally into all of this, and unfortunately they don't get to do too much with Erza in this episode after introducing her. She's basically there just to look over Hitomi and make sure nothing really goes wrong, and make sure basically she's keeping her on ice until the big destroy all. But the interactions between the two characters are still really fun, and I can't wait to see when all three characters are together what we're actually going to get from them. Also, just, I'm starting to see a lot of the quirks and hilarity of this series. I mean, like I said, it's just dumb fun, but there's a lot of things that are genuinely funny to me. The main male character, Yuya, I think, like, his main shtick, and what I mean by that, like, his catchphrase of the series, is basically running away, crying like a bitch, and saying yes ma'am to Hitomi. Only seeing the perspective from his feet as he is running away. I don't know what it is about that, but it is really freaking funny, and I expect to see it in just about every single episode from here. You can also get to see that little by little the relationship between Hitomi and Yuya is starting to actually grow into something, and it's only a matter of time before they confess their feelings for each other, blah 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 blah. It's gonna happen. Maybe not now, maybe not tomorrow, but you never really know. Other than that, though, I like that they build up some of the new characters, like the granddaughter of that one leader, the Zaibatsu, who doesn't make his appearance well too known because he mostly just likes to hang out inside of his limousine, and why do all the work when he can have his granddaughter do it for him? And I do like that they're building all of these characters up, and I hope it leads to something really awesome. That's really all I have to say, and I hope they do a good job of expanding all of them. It is a little confusing getting to see like who belongs to each faction, especially when they introduce so many characters at you at once. It's just kind of an assault on the senses, but honestly, I am digging it. Also, I paid attention more to the intro of the show this week. They introduced a lot of new characters from the last episode, two of which are going to be going after Hitomi personally, and I was wondering what type of creatures they're going to be. If the intro is any indication, they're going to be some sort of like reptile creatures, whether that be like a snake, a crocodile, or like a maybe even just like some lizards or something. I'm not sure, but I can't wait to see more of them. And seeing the horned lizards come in this episode just out of nowhere was really fun. Shooting blood from the eyeballs is such a really cool and unique ability, and using it like a beam weapon, almost like a bullet that's firing, was a really unique effect and something that I didn't expect to see in the show. And the actual action and the animation during the fight scenes was also pretty dang awesome. I have to admit, it looked great. It's just a stupid, fun, over-the-top, sexy as hell, bloody series, and you need to be checking it out. It's Killing Bites. Watch it with the whole family. Actually, don't watch it with the family at all. That'd be a terrible idea. Watch it with your friends, though. I'm giving this episode right here a 4 out of 5. I got tons of entertainment from this episode. I was slightly turned off by the ridiculous amounts of fan service, but still the show is funny enough and action-packed enough to just, appreciate it for what it is. It's going to be, I think, an underrated hit for the season. A lot of people are going to dismiss it simply for the fan service, but like I said, you must take this series truly for what it is to enjoy it. So there it is, 4 out of 5 from me. Check it out, guys. Oh, and let me just say this, too, because I never talk about the end credit scenes, which all have, like, the same punchline. For 3 episodes now, we get to see a little bit of Hitomi's school life, and one of her friends at school, whose name is Oshi, who is sort of represented as this other animal known as the honey guide, which works along with the honey badger, and basically they're just really good companions. They help each other survive. And in all of these scenarios, we get to see her doing things like that by helping out Hitomi and directing her towards really cool things of interest. But then the narrator always has to remind the viewer that while she does do this, she still herself is not a therianthrope. And that's sort of the punchline every single time. She does these amazing things. She's really cool, but she's kind of useless because she's not a therianthrope. It's just really funny seeing that at the end of every single episode. And of course, it builds a little bit upon Hitomi, seeing her in her actual element and acting like an actual teenager. So there it is. Just wanted to talk about that too. 4 out of 5 for me. I'd love to hear your thoughts about the episode. Tell me all of them in the comment section below, and what you hope to see from the rest of Killing Bites. Thank you guys for watching this review. I will see you guys next time, and as always, stay down there, baby.